internet.
Yeah, we have to. No, again, we have to. I knew this would happen. I didn't want to say anything, just on the options that it wouldn't, but it had to
Tatiana,
happen.
you start us off.
You start.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back
Just
to
do
the
1, 2,
Ghost.
3, so like we know that the start. So do 1, 2, 3, then start.
2, 1, go. Put the iCarly theme song.
3, 2.
Okay, stop it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ghost in the Podcast. I am Dee.
I'm the Inda.
And I'm Ghost. Again, this is not how we planned this, but this is what we're sticking with. Hello, everybody.
And I'm in the podcast, unlike Alex was in the podcast last time. You know, mix it up a little bit.
I thought I'm in the podcast.
But I think we should.
My name is in the we're not gonna do a Wilson first, okay? My name is also in the podcast, but you are in the podcast.
I see. Okay, right.
I am I'm better known as Titania, and my co-host is,
I'm Alexander the Magnificent.
and our prisoner, guest star is.
Menam, this is me. It's your boy.
It's the ghost.
I mean, that's not a boy, but it's the ghost. It's the ghost themselves.
Anyway,
Okay.
I think we should get to it.
We have been absent for a little bit, and things have changed. Things have not only changed here, but they have drastically changed in the thing that we're watching, the thing that we're talking about.
we found even better ways to torture Eminem.
Honestly, in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. There are going to be charitable things I'm going to say today about Data Live.
Well, your masochism is, we have to work around that, right, Alex?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
I honestly worry that this might be like lulling me into a false sense of security before we start watching High School DxD. I think that's what's happening here, honestly.
That might be it. Yeah, like we just want to get you at your happiest, so we can push you down and make
Right.
you feel
Which
good.
honestly, in a very roundabout way, this is actually very important. What you're saying right now connects to the 3 episodes of season 4 that we've actually seen in a very interesting way.
Yeah,
So we're gonna
and
get there.
Also, what happened in like the production side that you were going to talk about the director.
Right. So
And studio.
audience, yes, and studio audience.
Yeah.
Things have changed. So before we do our normal shtick of talking about the episodes, doing the play-by-play and all the good stuff, we don't have to tackle time travel today. So it's going to be more breezy and easier for us to get through. But important things first, Data Life Season 4 is different Data Life because between Season 3 and Season 4, the studio have changed. And that also means the director has changed. Even though, Alex, tell us about the time frame of this.
Only been a year in between the two, but do you know what's happened in that year? Gotcha money!
Yes.
The studio has gone to a more expensive studio, it seems like, after that gotcha money.
It seems that
make it rain.
the Data Live earned a lot more as just as an intellectual property, and so they were able to afford a better studio and a better director, which
I think you mean as a gambling app.
legally it's not gambling, Titania.
Well, pachinko.
Yes,
You're not gambling. All you're doing is paying real money for a random chance to possibly get your Data Live waifu of choice at a low chance.
That's true.
Not gambling.
In gambling, you can get money. In this, you cannot.
Yes, in this you can only acquire
Lose money.
painful depression. You can only lose money, which again, very strong parallels to our adventure with Data Live, where I feel we can only lose. There is no winning here.
I mean, for you.
I think the real winning is the friends you made along the way.
I mean,
And for people playing the gacha game, the real win is the waifus that they managed to collect along the way. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, you're making friends by being a technomancer, right?
Yeah.
In any case, let me quickly see who is the director of season 4, because I forgot the name. This is real time research.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna cut this. Actually, I'm gonna make a bigger pause just to make you look more foolish.
Daigo actually angry. Justin's turtle style. Overcome Rao. Now on the verge of putting Daigo down. Nothing.
Good, perfect. So the director of Data Life Season 4 is Jun Nakagawa. I should check what this person has made other than Data Live, but I should have done this research before. So I don't know if should I do this research right now, or should we just talk about Data Live?
I mean, it's
yeah,
just one. It's one-eyed research.
I think it's gonna be funnier if you do the research now.
Okay,
You know.
okay. Let me. Okay, in that case, let's quickly Google this person and let's see what has he done. Does he have an IMDb page?
Well, you researched that. I think it's funny that Eminem just started to like the director when we replaced him. You know.
I didn't say it. Well, yes, yes. It's weird to say, but as much as I disliked Motonaga's some ideas and his weird obsession with children and a lot of stuff that he did with season 1, 2, and 3, it has to be said that Motonaga is also responsible for Kurumi.
Yeah,
Like
and
he did that.
yeah, and I will give him credit that the children stuff was already in Data Live, so it's unclear if that was him or just trying to follow the story. Just to give him the benefit of, since he's dead, I want to be nicer to him. I mean, he's not really dead, but dead to us because he's no longer making media we enjoy or watch. So I just want to
He
be
might as
nicer
well
to
be a
him.
non-existent entity.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Titania, the first time when the witch girl does it, that's in the books. The second time is a episode that is only in TV canon that he could do whatever the fuck he wanted with.
Well, yeah, but follow the story. Like.
Yeah, the first one was following the story. The second
No,
one
no,
is
no.
all him.
What I mean is like, let's say you wanted to do a story about I don't know, Naruto, right? You cannot just take out the ninja part about the story,
Yeah, I mean, he has to follow the books.
Yeah, so he has to he has to have children in compromising positions. Otherwise, he wouldn't be dead alive.
I'm sorry for being a little absent during this conversation, but I've been in the rabbit hole.
We're literally doing this so you can research.
I mean, I'm trying, but of course the problem here, and partially why I didn't do this before, is that the Western side of the media, the Western weebs, are terrible, just absolutely awful at archiving any information about anime they ostensibly want to watch. So actually finding out who did what, when, and how is a nightmare. Like, I can see... Yeah?
It probably doesn't help that you only have information up to 2021. Because
of course, right, yeah, obviously, much like ChatGPT.
I will remind everyone. Eminem is dead. Like, this is just an AI version that we torture.
Oh yeah,
it's more soul. Yeah. It's a soul we digitize, like William Afton from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, yeah, the real Eminem is also suffering, but the thing is talking is not real.
I also want to point out that we did it first, before ChatGPT was ever a thing. There is no connection, but ChatGPT clearly aped us. This is fraud, and we should sue.
I mean, Eminem
is clearly powered by necromancy.
I didn't want to say it, but we actually sold your technology to ChatGPT, and that's how they're doing everything. Like,
that explains everything. ChatGPT just is.
Although they're way less ethical. They use the souls of third world children to power their chatbots.
Yeah, like you know how ChatGPT is sort of a liberal. Like we're forcing yourself to become a liberal in ChatGPT.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All of this just makes perfect sense. This is just capitalism in microcosm. So,
Yeah.
but we're torturing these children to create soul mass for ChatGPT to function. But at least it's not going to tell you offensive stuff.
Yeah.
True.
Peak liberalism. Peak liberalism. Okay, so
Yeah.
getting back to the data live discussion, the only thing I can see is that this person is apparently responsible for some of the data live Kurumi stuff as well,
No.
which is interesting, which is very interesting because I know that Motonaga is responsible for the Star Festival, right? But this person is responsible for some other Kurumi shorts. So now I'm wondering about the relationship, the professional relationship between Jun Nakagawa and Motonaga. Like maybe they actually work closer than we know. Of course, I can't check it, but that would make sense. In some ways it would make sense. In some ways it wouldn't make sense. But this means that there is at least some kind of like continual. There's some continuum between season 3 and season 4 in the sense that it seems that Motonaga and Jun Nakagawa are like in some way professionally related, and they seem to share passion for Kurumi specifically, which is good.
Well, more likely that was the jobs they were assigned.
I mean,
Possible, but
the saying, it takes a village to raise a child,
it takes a village.
So, like, whenever you see something on screen, like, it's important to know that, like, anime and, like, many other media is, like, a collaborative effort. Even manga, that is, like, I feel like manga is the most, like, authorial intent, aside from maybe books. But even then, you have editors. Like, truly, art is more of, like, collaborative medium, especially the art we enjoy.
And art we don't enjoy as well, which that's where data live falls into. But anyway, yes. So the studio has changed. It's a new studio. It's possible that this studio assigned this June person, Nakagawa-san, to this new project. And now he's the data live guy, and this had very powerful knock-on effects on the story and of this season. There are a lot of changes. There are a lot of things that are quite different direction-wise. In some respects, they're worse. In some respects, they're better. Yep.
What do you think of the art style?
The art style is definitely changing, and the art style is obviously better. The bigger budget definitely is visible. And from what we know, this season sold like gangbusters, and they are committed to making season 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 on to eternity.
By my math, I think it will end around 8 or 9.
If they want to finish the entire story, yeah.
Wait, is the light over?
Yes, the books are over.
Oh.
Good
Books
Lord,
ended in
thank God.
2020.
Thank God. This is okay. So there is end to this suffering. Then it's not gonna go
Yes,
for
there's no more data live source material coming out.
Obviously,
Don't you worry, Eminem. Just like Shield Hero, that they're eventually going to rewrite it, and then it's going to be infinite data life.
yeah. There's gonna be Data Live 1 remastered. Of course,
Yeah.
of course. This is the hellhole we live in. This is, of course, not to say about like Data Live adjacent stuff, because there's with those light novel series, there's always the main series, and the author usually writes something else, right? Like for example, for Phase Zero stories, there's like the mainline series, and there's like the If series, which like takes certain changes in history and creates different timelines. Yep.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also Fate, I think, is a better example. Like just
Fate. Okay, Fate. I don't know if that's a better example because Fate is a whole universe in a franchise. It's like it's different. It's different because the authorial intent of Jesus. What was the name of the date? Not Data Life. The Fate guy.
The authorial intent of Jesus Christ.
Yes, Jesus Christ. When he created the Fate series, which explains why Jesus Christ as a servant is conspicuously absent.
Have you ever wondered why there's no like? So you know the Bible, right? Um, Jesus
Kind of
didn't
it.
write any of the books in the Bible. He just like other people wrote it for him. You wanna know why?
Yeah.
Because he was probably
Because-
illiterate.
No, because he was writing Fate Stay Night, of course.
Yes, yes. He was too busy writing Fate Stay Night and shooting it into the future to appear specifically when it started to appear. No, but the point is that the guy, Jesus Christ, I can't remember the name of the Fate guy. Ah,
Look,
okay, whatever, doesn't matter. The point is,
I don't think anybody cares until like, and then there's gonna be like that one Fate fan, and they're gonna be like, I care.
yes, Andre, we're talking specifically about you here. That's absolutely gonna happen the moment Andre watches this episode. But anyway, the point is that the author of Fate franchise and the whole Fate thing always wanted to create a syncretic story about multiple different characters in a shared universe. That was like goal from the point forward. It was never supposed to be like just one story and then bunching up. It was always supposed to be about many different characters and different stories in the shared universe. Data Life is
Some of them
different.
even turning out to be communist in sequels.
Wait, but didn't he start a Spawn before?
No.
Okay,
I don't
if
think
you
so.
have if
I don't
you
think
have
so.
the Bible's worth of normal text and like 20 paragraphs of sex, I don't think that counts as porn.
I mean, you say that, but I mean,
There's sex scenes in literature and no one fucking fusses.
look, that's not true. Like, but I mean, okay. I don't want to get into it, but like some people disagree, but most of those people are not based. However, I am based, and I think that it's harder if you have like a whole story, and then you have a sex scene.
I just like that the guy from Fate had the autism to make sure the sex scenes were plot integral by incorporating them into the power system. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Just like Data Live. Anyway, the director changed, the
The
studio
show we're
changed.
actually talking about.
I mean, look. Do you come to Ghost in the Podcast to
Nasu!
listen about Data Live?
His name is Nasu. It's the Nasu verse. It's the Type Moon verse. Nasu.
Well, don't worry, because I'm going to title this episode. The title is going to be Who Made Fate Stay Night? Who was his name?
I thought-
Nobody knows. And
Nobody knows. Nobody. This is going to be cut. Yes. Although I thought.
no, it's not going to be cut. This is like the main part of the podcast now. Anyway,
I thought that the good name, the good name of the episode would be "It Takes a Village." Anyway, okay. Let's move to play by play. Let's tell the three episodes, and then
just to recap, the important thing is the studio changed, the director changed, and the art style changed, and everything seems to be better so far. But let's go to the play-by-play and find out.
in some respects better, in some respects worse. But yes, let's get it. Okay, so we start off this season very strong with a torture scene, of course, because you have to start strong. There is no more narration in the beginning. Alex was very adamant about it.
Oh yeah, that is the part that's worse because like, look, it might have been cringy, but like, I think it was good.
It gave the series a little bit of a personality, which it now
It
lacks.
would have also played into something that happens later in the season really well.
Save the girl, save the world.
Yep. Unless we no longer have that, there is no more narration. We jump straight into a what essentially is torture porn. A little bit because
No, like it really isn't. Like it's torture, but it's not. It's not torture porn.
I
It
mean,
lasts like what, 20 seconds?
It
Not really
lasts-
lingering on it.
Maybe it's long enough for Eminem, but not for me.
I guess that's fair. I guess I want to shit on Data Life as much as possible.
I like the resignation there. Like, yeah, that's fair.
yeah, that's true. I understand that they don't linger on it. I want to shit on Data Life as much as possible, but that's true. it's not as tasteless as I would have come to expect from Date Alive. That's true, and maybe that has a lot to do with the change of the director.
It's certainly not Kurumi tentacle scene in the first season.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not Kurumi tentacle sexual assault. Yes. In any case, we open up with a girl, a woman that we have not seen before, and we of course can make a quick mental calculation that this is probably going to be the new spirit that is going to be introduced, because who else would it be?
When I first saw her, I thought actually she was like like a wizard, like one of Ellen or like Shido's actual sister.
Sorry, that she would be okay.
Sorry, yeah.
I guess that's
point out that it's insane that this is a universe where they discovered magic is real and they don't talk about this all the time. They're just like, yeah, that thing Westcott Prescott discovered. Magic. That's why he's so rich. He individually discovered the existence of magic.
Well, the only thing that magic lets you do is like put a force field or like shoot special bullets. It's not that special.
I feel like being able to shoot lasers with your mind is pretty special.
I mean, yes.
Call me insane, but...
Okay, but not for everybody. And it's not for everyday life, Like, look, the life of a convenience store worker is not going to change that much if, like, some people can, like, shoot lasers out of their eyes.
I suppose that's true. There is a very limited application this magic can do that. That's true. So, yeah. So maybe Westcott Prescott's business empire is really very similar to like cryptocurrency in the sense that he somehow managed to acquire unimaginable wealth on the back of something that is just useless for the majority of people.
It's not as useless as cryptocurrency. Like, let's give some credit. It's like a weapons manufacturer.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. It's okay, sure. I mean, drones have civilian applications, Magic, I don't know. Anyway, we see a girl in a facility being tortured in some vague way, and then we see...
I like how we spend like 5 minutes in the first 5 seconds.
Oh, this is going to continue. But okay, yes, we should hurry up. And then we switch to Kurumi, our best girl, who assaults the facility and frees the prisoners for reasons that are not known as of right now.
Oh, prisoner, singular.
Prisoner, yes, singular prisoner, the girl. Then we switch back to Shido and the gaggle of spirits. Shido is being checked on because apparently the events of the last episode of season 3 are semi-canon in the sense that they were a little bit addressed. That yes, this is happening right after Shido had his episode of having too much spirit power.
Well,
nice adding detail to continuity for the anime.
Yeah, like it is kind of weird though. Like, Shida must be exhausted. Like, it really is a draining experience to be Shida in the anime.
Becoming a demigod and then having all that energy sucked out of you just to immediately go back to work. Japanese work culture really is brutal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's definitely a socio-political commentary somewhere here. But nevertheless, Shido is fine. He's okay. He goes back to the city and starts having a normal stroll. And just by sheer coincidence...
I believe he was getting groceries, right? For the food for the girls?
I think so, yes. I think so. And let us remind everybody...
how big this organization is, really, they should have some of their staff buy him groceries. Give him some free time.
Oh, no, but that's part of his gig. That's part of, if you want to be a good lover... You need to satisfy the girls on every level. That means also you do grocery.
To be fair, like...
Lazy fucking... These people are not totally up their part of the relationship. This is not equal.
I am going to say that... I'm going to say two things. First, I think Shido is better at, like, picking groceries, like the right fruits and stuff. But the real reason, I think, is, to give Shido some free time. Because, like, oh no, I have to get groceries and I don't have to constantly be around.
No. Actually, they offered to just do this for him. But he's like, no, you're not taking away my time away from them.
Yeah.
They could give him vacation, but no, they're gonna couch it as grocery shopping. Sure.
Truly Japanese work culture.
Then again, he technically had a vacation at the end of season 3, right? That was technically supposed to be Shido's vacation.
Is it really a vacation when you have to bring around your work? Like,
Listen. If you love what you do, you don't work
Which he
a day
doesn't.
in your life. Which he doesn't. Which he doesn't. Which he explicitly doesn't. So this doesn't apply to him, but in general.
if we really think about it, the last the last season proved that Shida doesn't love any of them. Like,
So I
Yes.
recently, for reasons, rewatched the first and half of an episode of High School DxD and half of one, and I know I have to say, by contrast, at least Isuke, I feel like he actually likes girls in a way I don't get from Shido.
I mean, okay, that's fair, but let's stick to the play-by-play.
Right. Shido goes to procure groceries, and in an alleyway finds a collapsed woman. He doesn't know why she collapsed. Yep.
I would like to refer to her as Trash Girl. Yeah.
Why do you call her Trash Girl?
Well,
Because she's trash.
yeah, you find out more about her, and it make more sense later.
She's fine. I don't. Okay, if you say so. I feel like she's on the totem pole of ethical and like a normal functioning person. She's one of the best functioning people in daily life. Which is
She and Miku are the only people that can function independently by themselves.
I mean, that's not true. First of all, only Miku is. Second is, I mean trash in like a good way, you know? Like, you know, when people say sick.
right. Yeah, the way that people say sick. Yeah, cool. Yeah, she's a trash girl. Yeah, okay, that I can agree with. Anyway,
She's a fellow weeb.
he bumps into the girl. Of course, being Shido, he immediately attempts to help her, resuscitates her, lifts her up, and carries her all the way towards home while they have a small talk. During which time she, of course, attempts to sexually assault Shido, kind of by focusing on her butt and her boobs that touch Shido, which is going to make more sense in the future because right now it seems just a little weird, but actually there's a little bit of a reason why she does that. Like she actually.
Yeah, once they arrive home, we learn that she cannot cook for her. Like, okay, she can cook for herself, but like she forgot. She was just working on. She's actually a manga artist.
Yes, she's a mangaka. She draws manga, and she's actually apparently she's a very popular.
Also, she's an adult. You know.
Yes, she's an actual
30s,
which in some ways is exceptionally creepy, given the fact that, of course, she also finds Shido attractive. I mean, so there's a huge age gap there. So in some ways, she's one of the worst ones. But in other respects,
I don't know how old Shido is now, but I know they start the story at 16 and they're 18 by the last book.
I don't want to be a hypocrite, or in a way that won't get me cancelled. What I'm trying to say is that I prefer Shido to be dating somebody that's older than him than somebody that's way younger than him. Does that make sense?
I think she's saying he's an adult by Europe standards, where the age of consent is like 16.
That's what you're trying to say?
No, what I'm trying to say is I don't want Shido to be dating 5-year-olds like he has.
So what you're saying is that it's more fine for Shido to be more explicit or romantically involved with Nia, who is in her 30s, than it is for Shido to date 6-year-old girls, which
it's still wrong, but I just prefer it, because like we can just like if you change Shido's age to like 18 or 19 and say he's in college, like you can do that in your mind very easily, but you cannot do that with like Shion and stuff, like. I mean,
he might be 18 right now.
He's 18
He's 18 in the last book, and I don't know how old he is currently. He might actually be 18 currently.
I think I'm gonna agree with Daniel on this.
Yeah, it's just a preference, like. Yeah.
I think Nia being an adult woman and being playful with Shido is way more acceptable than Shido having explicit and specific attraction towards Yoshino. I will agree. Yes.
I am not condoning it. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I prefer it over the alternative, which is children.
Yeah, I think we lost a little bit of that sentence because I couldn't hear you. But
Oh, right.
anyway, yes. So Sheila prepares dinner for this person whose name is Nia. She's a manga artist.
She forgot to eat for like 3 days. Yeah.
The two of them then sit together and start to work drawing a manga because she needs more help, of course. She dresses up as a cat maid, if I remember correctly, specifically for the sake of being eye candy for Shido, which, again, maybe a little creepy, but frankly, I'm okay with this. I'm surprisingly okay with this. I feel like it would be much weirder if any other spirit did it.
I think she also said it was referenced for the manga and stuff.
Yes, she said this is for reference, but of course it's not. She admits that it's not.
Yeah.
So
also, Shido was we learned that Shido is also like really good at drawing, like manga and stuff. Like something that we never knew before. It's like with the music. Wait, no, actually, that's not what happened in the music episode. He wasn't musically inclined. It's just that Kotori. Well, we actually don't learn this in the anime, but in the light novels, Kotori imprisons him for 1 week so he can learn the guitar. In the anime, he just
tortures him essentially into acquiring musical skills. Yes, that's exactly what happens. But interestingly, interestingly, Kotori uses the threat of revealing information that would be shameful to others about Shido's youth. So again, we see that Shido is, as a character, incredibly insecure about things that he did as a child, which is just such a common trope for these otaku heroes that I can't take it seriously. Like, all of them have to be incredibly insecure boys that somehow are weirdly attractive to women, which I don't understand. I mean, I understand that this is supposed to be wish fulfillment fantasy, but like,
I mean,
wouldn't it be
insecurity can be very hot. Like, it can be very appealing. Like, being like, well, not insecurity, but like, like being like, submissive. You know what I mean. But
I just feel like it.
I will say the part about Shido, like, it's not like unrealistic and stuff. Like, I think many young Japanese people like draw manga and stuff. Just like Shido.
Obviously.
But I will say that it feels weird on Shido to be so embarrassed.
Insecure?
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, I will agree that it isn't. Listen, it isn't unrealistic for Shido to be like that because he's supposed to be the audience insert, and a lot of people who watch anime in Japan, and a lot of people who would resonate with the way Shido is, obviously. But like, that's the problem for me, because like the part that is wholly unrealistic is just the weird obsession women have about him. Because in real life, the kind of person that Shido is incredibly unattractive.
I'm not sure about. I think Shido is attractive. Like, I mean, here's the thing: Shido is not really real. He's more like an idealized version of somebody. Because when I say it doesn't really make sense, is that like, most of what I see of Shido is somebody that is emotionally smart and very good at particular things like cooking and stuff. Like, he looks like a good house husband, but
he seems to be a good house husband, and that's like his redeeming quality. But again, this is a quality that is used incredibly often for these type of characters. Like Emiya Shido is like in the same wheelhouse where, like, shut in, introverted, not very talkative, but has a heart of gold, great house husband. It's like all of them want to be that. It, like, when you see that for 1,000 times, it just gets so boring.
I mean, I agree. It's just that, I think you're probably just bored with it because you've seen a lot of like old anime. But if you see a lot of new anime, it's very refreshing because most of them are just like rapists and just like want to have women as slaves,
I mean, I guess I have to give you that I would take Shido over the fucking protagonist of Healer any day, obviously. But like,
or also Shield,
God, why do
or Shield
Hero?
Yeah.
But like, Why do we have to have such a low bar?
I mean,
Like,
you're not
can't
wrong.
I just throw both of them out? I don't, you know.
I think Shiro could be salvageable, you know, unlike the other.
Yeah, whatever the fucking healer guy's name is. What is his name? He had like a stupid name because he used it as an alias. Whatever.
Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it. We've already dealt with Redo of a Healer. It's behind us.
Anyway,
We've managed to destroy it with facts and logic.
Eventually, they finish making the manga, and then what happens?
Nia reveals that she's actually a spirit. She transforms into her spirit form. She looks like a priestess, like a Catholic priestess for some reason, which obviously that's for fetish. I approve, but I don't understand why specifically. And
Her outfit is not the best one. Like they actually hadn't had like very good outfits, but I mean, it's not the worst outfit, but it could have been better. I will say.
I just don't understand why she's a priestess.
I mean, why is Origami like a? Oh wait, we already know why she's a bride.
We know, it's explained.
I mean,
Toka is a princess because she is, the first spirit, and she appears as a very, not very knowledgeable person, but a very noble and sort of like, in the same way Saber is.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be what Toka is.
Yoshinon is like
Alice in Wonderland, a little child.
Yeah. The spirit sisters, like the twins, they're not into BDSM, but like I think they have the worst outfit, honestly. But
they are all over the place because they're supposed to be like a wind spirit. They're supposed to be like a genie. Yeah. I feel like
they're supposed to be one person, but they were split apart, and that's why like the amount of clothes they have is reduced.
It's clear that the Yagami sisters are like the most maligned by the animation and because they just don't know what to do with them. Like they started with the BDSM outfit, which never made a lot of sense, and it just they don't know what to do with them. That they have a limited supply of ideas.
To do most of the time.
I mean, they're like filler characters. Like sorry, not filler. Like when Origami's not there, one of the sisters can fill in her role. Then when Toka is not there, you know what I mean.
I guess. Yeah.
They're like seat warmers, you know.
I guess it's just okay. Anyway, yes, Nia reveals that she's a spirit, and she immediately shows Shido the power of her angel, which is the ability to read the past. She has perfect knowledge of everything that happened in the past by just asking her angel. And the angel,
Eminem. It's so much more than that.
Is
much more broken.
It's like Heaven's Door Plus, like.
It's Heaven Doors at infinite range.
Yeah, which is it's not necessarily the over heaven necessarily, but it's very close. Like.
Did you just make a JoJo Eyes in Heavens reference?
Yeah.
Cool. I have not listened. I have not seen Stone Ocean. I have no idea what you're talking about. But yes, I don't
this
see
is a video game
It's
reference.
part 4.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's part 4. Like.
Okay, whatever. I'm not getting the reference, but let's not get into a tangent about JoJo right now.
What I'm trying to say is she can rewrite reality. Like.
She can? She can change stuff? I don't think she can.
Yeah, I mean, she can. Okay, she can write in her book like Shido will fall down and Shido will fall down. Like absolutely.
Oh, okay, yes, but she can't like
she has to
change what happened in the past.
She has to take her time to write it. Okay, yes, she cannot change the past, sure, but like.
Yeah. Okay. Sure, this is obviously Miku's mind control on steroids. Yes, obviously she essentially has a death note is what she has.
No, I mean yes, but also like she can also just teleport with it, like like.
Okay, yeah.
Oh God, you're right. She can. god, she's so fucking busted.
She is absolutely broken. I don't think she's more broken than Natsumi because Natsumi's power is just Looney Tunes, but she is broken.
I think it's more like the fact that you can do it at any range and she has no mana cost. Like,
What do you mean she writes something and then it happens? That's way more broken than transmutation.
yeah, like she also has no limit on her magic that we see. Like, Natsumi constantly runs out of magic while
Matthew also has to be in visual range.
yeah.
Well, okay, sure, she is broken, but much like Natsumi, she's not gonna actually put that power into any form of good use.
Oh
So it doesn't
god,
matter.
no.
I mean,
Why doesn't she just write Weska Prescott gets heart attack?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she's not a bad person. Question mark. Anyway.
Wait, I have a question. If you had the death note and you didn't kill Hitler, doesn't that make you a bad person?
Yeah.
Yeah, not according to Japanese. Sorry. Well, okay.
Or according to J.K. Rowling, actually. So yeah, there's something behind it.
Look. The reason is that killing is wrong. Like, you're not allowed to kill people in media, even if they're evil. I mean, it's not you're not allowed. Okay.
You're allowed to kill people if they're
Because
brown.
It's like it is a contrivance, you know. Like the real reason is that the story will just end, you know. And
Sure.
the contrivance is that Nia is the type of person to not kill Hitler if she had a death note. So that's the answer.
Which means she's a bad person. Yes. But yes, because she is a bad person, and that's why she will never put her power into full usage. But yes, we learned that she has this power, and we learned that she already knew of Shido. She doesn't know everything about Shido, but she does know some things about Shido, and she specifically contrived all of this event, you know, collapsing into the alleyway, him carrying her to her house, and all of it, because she actually does want him to seal her powers. She is the type of spirit that comes forward and wants to be sealed. Which I think is that the first time this happened. Has there ever been a spirit before that came forward and was like, "Please seal me"?
Origami half counts, I think, but essentially yes.
Kotori definitely counts. Kotori definitely counts.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forget she's also a spirit. But yeah.
Yeah. But of course,
but it turns out she cannot like kiss Shiro and be sealed because she doesn't love Shiro, and she will never love Shiro because
he is 3D dimensional. And she's a mangaka, she's a weeb, and she can only love 2D, which...
Yeah, she can only love 2D, guys. Which is really funny, and like, it would have been very... Okay, if I was making Dead Alive, like, just for this episode, I will make it so, like, animated in 3D and be very obvious about it.
Yeah, just sort of like, you know, those 3D animated segments in the Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? There's like just really bad animation.
No, have you seen Bocchi the Rock?
I have not seen it. I know of it. Yeah, I know that they're animation weirdness.
And the real ones know that, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to show it now.
Okay. Right. Yes, I would also do it, but it's an okay joke. I don't hate it. At least it makes Nia a sort of a more relatable character, because I feel like a lot of
I agree completely. I actually like the joke. I just think like they could have gone further with the joke. You know what I mean? Especially in the anime. But yeah.
I agree, but at least I feel like at least it makes Nia a more relatable character than a lot of these girls. Because like, what weeb can actually like identify or relate with Miku? Like none of them. Like they can only conceive of Miku as an archetype of a character. Kotori maybe a little bit more, but Nia, like it's the first character that I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see a a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old weeb audience member relating with this character, not with Shido, like trying to get with her, not in the not relating with her as a romantic partner, but relating with her as a character, which that's good.
I think you meant like a 30-year-old trying to romance a high school person and not being able to because they love to be, like a day life fan.
I can see, yeah, like a data life fan. But the point is that I can see a lot of weebs being like, hearing this idea that like, oh, I can, 3D stuff is horrible and I can only fall in love with 2D. It's a joke, obviously, but I can see a lot of weebs being like, yep, I can.
Yeah,
I relate to that. Yeah,
Yeah, like for sure, she's more relatable. I don't really value okay. A trait of hers is she is really relatable. However, the execution is what makes it work. It's not really the fact that she's relatable that's good.
I think I understand what you're trying to say, and okay, yeah, sure.
And essentially, I am agreeing with you. However, I just want to make it harder and make it so I am right.
No, I understand, but I understand what you're getting at. But relatability of characters is very important to me specifically because I care about representation. I want the characters in the media that I watch to reflect the kind of person I am or want to be, and I think it's very important for that's why I think it's very important for queer characters to be in anime, trans characters to be in anime, etc. Because if we only ever make anime and stories about Shidos of the world, then we only keep them inside their myopia. So
yeah.
I think for that reason, it's very good that Nia exists. I don't think she's going to be a major part of the story going forward, which I think is a shame because she's a cool character. I would want more of her, but at least she exists. At least it's a character that is relatable and is not Shido and is not male. So that's a plus.
I agree.
Anyway, so Nia reveals that she wants to go on a date with Shido, and she wants Shido to make her fall in love with him. But of course, preempts this by saying, this is impossible because I don't like 2D guys. It's not even the fact that you're a guy. I just don't like 2D people. Sorry, I don't like 3D people. I only 2D. So with this handicap...
Okay, wait. Okay. Sorry for the tangent. It would have been also very funny if she said she only likes 3D guys. You cannot do this, especially in the story, but... like, also, if she wasn't into, like, she said she does 2D, and she only likes 3D guys, and we see, like, like a video game and stuff. Because Shido is actually 2D.
2D, yes. That would be, but that would be a fourth wall breaking joke that would just, completely ruin the suspension of his belief, right?
People's noses will bleed, and not for the anime fun version. Yeah. Anyway, she cannot fall in love with Shido, and then that's what happens. And then Shido meets with Kotori, and they start making a plan to, make Shido fall in love. Make Nia fall in love with Shido.
Right. Which, okay, so this ends the episodes, and then we move on to the next episodes. And the next episode, and the spirits are going to have a meeting at a round table and discuss how to woo and seduce Nia into falling in love with Shido, which is interesting because this is the first time it happens that the spirits actually have an input on what's going to happen. Prior to this, it was only Kotori. It was Kotori and her gaggle of people. Other spirits never had anything to say about this, which is an interesting change that it's now the spirits running the show and not Kotori and the rest of Ratatoskar, which...
I mean, it's a more interesting direction.
They're still there,
They're still there, and they still take active participation during the date itself, but they're not the part that is actually planning the operation. The spirits are planning the operation.
I'm sure they're part of, whatever. They're...
Anyway...
what's important is that the spirits are now helping.
Right. Of course, so and then Shido goes on to a date with Nia, and he has obviously two major handicaps. Handicap one is that he is 3D. He's a human being. He's not a manga character. And handicap two is that Nia at any point can read the past and can know anything he's doing, which is a sort of similar to situation that he had with Kotori, in the sense that, if Kotori knows that he is constantly being influenced by Ratatoskar and not saying exactly what he means, is this a genuine date? To what extent is this genuine date? And obviously, Nia, having the power over knowing the past, knows and will know, knows of Kotori and knows of other spirits, and she knows that Shido is on this mission from Ratatoskar. She knows the entire process.
Was she using her power actually or not?
She used her power. What she says in the first meeting with Shido, when she reveals that she's a spirit, she says that she looked up information about him in her journal. She didn't read everything, but she has a good picture of what he's been doing and what has happened.
I thought the point of the story was that she wasn't. She was trying to not read the past of the people.
Yes, we're gonna get to that. That is a very important part of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. They go on a date.
It fails.
It fails, but it fails in a funny way because they try to set Shido up as a manga character. He just goes full cosplay.
Don't they fail first and then this happens, or?
I don't, Alex. Do you remember what was their first idea? Because I feel like this was mostly their first idea.
First idea was, let me think.
I frankly don't remember because I don't think it was memorable.
I think their first idea was doing the game.
No. That was their.
No, the game was later.
Later. Okay.
The game was the second idea.
In any case,
right.
Whatever their first idea was, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that I agree that there's this really fun scene where Shido pretends to be a manga, he cosplays as a manga character. But the problem is that Nia is into manga characters that will never date,
The problem is that she's so obsessed with this specific character's story that she doesn't even want to be a part of it. She doesn't want to insert herself into the story of this character because he's so cool to her that she just wants to see him succeed.
I mean, that's true, but also do you guys know what BL is?
Boys love?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the character is a BL character because I think they were
Is it? No, I'm pretty sure he was into his sister, the way Nia described it. I don't know. I don't think it's a yaoi character. I'm sure Nia is into boys love, but I don't think that's factors into this specific character.
I misunderstood that then. Damn it.
Yeah. But he's definitely Bashan. What is funny about it is that Shido leaves, goes to the bathroom, and returns in full cosplay gear, and he's in full cosplay mode. He's not flustered in any way, and just goes full aggro mode, trying to seduce Nia, and is very, let's say, forward and very aggressive in his attempt at seduction, which
not really it's just a imagine the most standard version of this scene, and this is what happens.
I don't know.
The reason Shido fails is that he cannot stay in character if he wants to romance Nia.
Well, the reason he fails is also that if he were to stay fully in character in that character, he would not be trying to seduce Nia, which that's immediately spots.
Yeah. So
that fails.
So their second idea is to create a visual novel game, very meta.
Yes, they want to create a visual novel with a character that is based on Itsuka Shido. So she will go on a date with a visual novel Shido, and that will make her fall in love with the real Shido, which honestly, I question the very sense of this plan because that's not how it works. I
think it's a good idea, and if it wasn't for her power, I think it would have worked. But essentially,
I just think. Listen, I just
okay,
think that
but
if you try to. Okay.
let's just describe it first. It's essentially what happens is that she receives like a demo, like a special demos or something, right?
Yes, a demo version of the game. Yeah.
So they have technology that's so advanced that when she plays the game, they can like relay real time conversations.
Create
with the
it.
real
Yeah,
Shido.
they essentially code the game in real time, and Shido is like recording lines in real time,
Yeah, which
which is
and she's
hilarious.
it's
That's hilarious.
To steal a line from Two Super Best Friends, they're making the game as we're playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the game predicting us or are we predicting the game?
That's a good question. It'd be a very good philosophical question to ask, but this anime is not smart enough to ask it.
Anyway, it is very funny when she says, "Wow, games have gotten so advanced since I was tortured for 10 years."
Just try it.
Oh, wait. How long was she tortured again?
Alex? I don't remember.
5
Let's
years?
ask the question again.
How long?
For how long was she tortured at the Westcott facility?
I think 5 to 10 years, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's less creepy because, like, you know, the age range, like... Look,
Right, because this means
older,
yeah.
but she's...
You have to
like, she was tortured for all that time, so...
Yeah, you have to cut out a big chunk of her life. So she's younger than, like, she's technically. I mean, but also torture. Like, it makes you older. I'm gonna say, like, it creates.
I mean, she kind of blocks that out of her memory.
We're gonna get to that. This is very relevant later.
I'm just trying to make it less creepy so I can enjoy the anime.
I understand, but it's very difficult. Like, even with this new director, it just. The data life weirdness that underpins all of this.
Okay, to be fair to Data Life, it's just like the culture in general. Like, I'm not even going to say it's only Japanese people because, like...
Creepy shit happens outside of Japan,
Yeah,
sure.
like America also has this problem. Need I remind everyone of the Transformers 4, the secret law that lets this 20-year-old, like 21-year-old date a 17-year-old? The secret Texas law that he has on his wallet.
What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even want to
in
know.
Transformers 4, this is a real scene. The father of a 17-year-old girl is saying, "You cannot date my daughter because you are 21 years old." And the character's response is to take out his wallet and point to a law that he keeps in his wallet and say, "Look at the Constitution. It says I can do this in Texas. It's all within the law."
How old are you? 20. She's a 17-year-old girl. So we can work this two ways. One, I punch you right in the mouth and you call the police on me.
Dad.
Or two, I just call the cops on you because this is illegal. She's a minor.
We're protected by the Romeo and Juliet laws.
We dated for a little while. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
We've got a pre-existing juvenile foundational relationship. Statute 2705-3.
What? Texas statute? That a real law?
And the even better part is that if you like, there's a fun section, like I think Amazon or Hulu, whatever, right? It's a foible, and in bloopers or like fun facts, you know, it's like if you look at the law in the Constitution, it says yes, it can get you away from sexual assault charges, but he can still go to jail for having relations with a minor.
This is not good, Titania. But your point is demonstrated. Yes, creepy shit happens outside of Japan.
All over the world.
Sure, all over the world. It's just the reality we live in.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Either way, just what I wanted to point out. Okay, the joke of like making the game while she is playing it and recording the lines is amazing. I love that joke. Funny. It's actually funny. I have to admit that like that was one of very, very, very few jokes in Data Life that actually connected and was like, yeah, okay, this is funny. But I do have to say that the idea itself, from the grounds up, is absolutely stupid. Like,
No, I disagree. Like it will have.
listen, okay,
It will have worked.
people have. Okay, it wouldn't have worked because people have a very different approach towards people in real life and people in video games and stories. Like, if you created a game or a story with a person in real life that I even ostensibly already find very attractive, or even I'm crushing on or something, and you put that person, a version of that person, into a story, like, I don't see why interacting with that version of the person would make me fall in love with the person in real life. Because these are two very different people, very different contexts. Voila.
I mean, I whether it will have worked or not. I mean, I'm just going to concede this point because it's not that important. But I mean, you have not changed my mind, but I don't really have anything to like.
But listen, I'm a ghost.
I'm just saying. Personally, I like. We will have to gather evidence, but like personally, I think it will have worked. Like, I can see a version of this plan where it works, and
I don't. I feel like, listen, I'm a ghost in the podcast. But there was a real Eminem at some point. He's dead now. We've decided that, right? Eminem is dead. I'm Eminem, the ghost in the podcast. But like, if you manage to resurrect Eminem, like, and if you fell in love with me, Eminem, ghost in the podcast, would you fall in love with that Eminem that was resurrected? I don't think so.
I mean, we made it so people cannot fall in love with you, but. Let's not.
Okay, but
we actually have causality altering powers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually trying to make a point here using this analogy, butchered as it may be.
Well, look, I mean, like that gets into another part of philosophy. Stoicism. I don't remember exactly, but like, you are a different version of the Eminem that is just being tortured right now, like his soul. So, like the traits you have right now because of your experiences that the real Eminem doesn't have, those parts are different, Meanwhile, the Shido in the game is like an exact replica of the real Shido. And they're both doing it in real time. So...
I guess that it's a little bit different because, yes, the Shido in-game is the Shido in real life because he's recording the lines live. But
Yeah.
I think from the perspective of Nia, that's not the case, right? Like, she has a different context to thinking about this. But yeah, okay, this gets into a lot of talk about philosophy, sure.
Regardless, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't work because Nia wants to find out more about the studio. And when
she wants to, fine.
Yeah, and when she finds out that it was actually Rototasca and they were tricking her, she gets really mad.
She gets upset, yeah. Which means that the second attempt failed, and so now they are down to last possible option.
Like Nia even says, like, don't even try it anymore. Like, I'm done with you people. But then that, like, yeah, they decide to have a
contest. A manga creating contest. A manga creating contest. Shido
Comics Coliseum.
Yeah.
Yes, essentially a giant Comic-Con, which again, very important socio-political commentary here about the nature of manga distribution and manga creation. Yes.
This actually felt very like, okay, obviously it's not that real, but it like there's a realness in the sense of the contest, like how it really works.
There's a realness to all of it that like was very much absent from a lot of other stuff. You could say that like the school festival contest with Miku also had a little bit of a realness to it, even with her performance. So in that sense, yes, there is a certain realness to the fact that yes, this is an event that would happen, and them framing this date as this event makes sense.
I think the biggest problem is the the most unrealistic part is how quickly they can make the one-shot manga Shiro and the others. Like, because essentially like, okay. And here's something really funny about, like, okay. So they're both making their own manga. Like, Nia already finished her manga with the help of Shiro, so she's set. However, the Spirit Gang needs to make their own manga. And Alex, do you remember what you asked about Natsumi's power?
Why can't she just think a picture in her mind and poof it into existence?
Yeah, and what we think happens is that she actually, like, she has to, like, if you're going to make a drawing, like, it will be the same as, you know, like, you will have to take the exact same time to, like, draw something to make something, you know.
Because I feel like you're trying to justify this, and it's pointless. Like, the reason she doesn't just do it is because that would end the story, right? That would not be a satisfying solution.
That is the true reason, but I feel like it's like unless
justifiable in the context of her powers.
Yeah. I just feel because
what are her powers? Her powers are so broad and unexplained that, like, can you even make a statement that, yeah, sure, this makes sense with Natsumi's power? Like, no statement like this will ever be true because her powers are never explained.
I mean, I guess so, but like, if you are a young writer and want to write a scene like this and you have a power like Natsumi, I think you can use that explanation that it will take the same amount of time to draw it and use her powers. You know.
Sure.
That's what
let's go with it. Either way. Meanwhile, while this is happening, they also meet with a different character, a person that is wearing, like, very big glasses. I forgot the name of the character. I have no idea what her name is. But they meet with. She matters a little bit, but they meet with a person that
she matters, like, she's like a dog, you know, like.
What are you saying? Why are you being so mean to her? She's okay.
I think if the story didn't have her, it would be almost the same story.
I don't know. I think that anyway. She is a person that Nia ostensibly knew way back before she retired from making the manga, which is a code phrase for that was the point at which she received her spirit powers. And then was tortured by Prescott for 10 years.
No, she had her powers for a long time, before that.
I'm not sure for how long she actually had her spirit powers.
That's the whole point of her story, you know.
Yes, but I mean, she was a manga, but she was a manga artist before she became a spirit.
Not necessarily. Like, we don't know that. Like, maybe, but. The most important part is that before she met her, like, she already had spirit powers. Like, the reason she's so closed off to, like, 3D people is that she could always use her powers to look at them and see all the bad things they say behind her back, you know?
Right. So they meet with her, and this person explains that she doesn't really know why Nia cut ties with her. She would love to meet her again, but she has no idea why she stopped working on the manga, and etc. etc. And Kotori ventures a theory.
The glasses girl used to be like manga rivals with her, I think.
No, they were friends.
They're like friendly rivals.
They were friends. No, they were not friendly rivals. They worked together.
Oh, they were.
She was her senpai. Yes.
Oh, okay.
They were friends. They were on completely friendly terms. But for some reason, Nia cut ties with her. Kotori ventures a theory by which Nia cut ties with her because she was able to use her angel and look into her past, and she found there's something that she didn't like. And Kotori thinks that the reason Nia cut off her ties with 3D people and doesn't like 3D people is because they have secret lives in which they are not so great people and they are secretly bad, they think all sort of bad stuff, and she can know all of this, so she has very low faith in humanity. But in fact, it's the opposite, and that's what Shido suggests, that it's not that Nia has a very low opinion of humanity in general because she can use her powers to read the past of people and their secrets, but specifically she doesn't want to have that ability, and she feels guilty for even being able to see these secrets lives, and she finds it very intrusive. So she doesn't want to do that, but she has that power and she always has that temptation, and that's also the full reason why
Yeah,
she
like,
wants to get rid of this power.
She doesn't want to use it, but she has that temptation, and she's afraid she will use it at some point. And
Yep.
if she does, then that's when she will lose faith in humanity by learning the secrets and stuff.
Right. This ties to the finale. So they all chip in. They all create parts of the manga. All of the spirits have like different takes on it. There is a
Tommy
very
gets one of our 3 horny jokes this season.
yes. We get just the tiniest bit of origami horniness in this, but it's blink and you miss it. Like we no longer dwell on it. It's just a thing that she does. It's been relegated to her character quirk, which is just.
Remember when origami was central to the plot?
Remember when that was like the whole point of like 6 episodes? Not anymore. Done. She solved. It's just a character quirk now. They done my girl so dirty.
Yeah, like it's just less fun. That like I mean she hasn't really changed, but it's just less fun. That's all.
Miku. What is interesting here is that Miku wants to help with this manga, and she actually wants to help not only Shido but all the other spirits, which is just a huge rewrite of her character. This is very important.
Okay,
Like old Miku from season 3 would never do this. She would only do it in the context of I can like draw this manga and sit close to somebody and maybe kiss them while I do it. That's why she would do it.
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe she would do it because that would increase her chances of kissing other spirits and Shido. That's why she would do it.
that's completely true, but like okay, like we were talking about this before, and like it really is more like character development exists. Like it is very sudden, but like they
Because she was never developed.
I mean, they were talking like they were giving Miku a hard time beforehand, about all the awful stuff she did. So
And she
Especially in the
suddenly
book.
changed. And she suddenly changed and decided that she is now good and she now wants just to help people out of the goodness of her heart. Fuck that. I don't believe it. Not for a second.
okay, like this is Data Life. You're not gonna get much better character development than that, honestly.
True enough. True
I mean,
enough.
okay, let's talk. What about Natsumi? Like, what about her character development? Especially when she's like trying to help the manga and stuff. Do you feel like that's better?
Natsumi, yes, but she already is on that character arc all the way from her first appearance in season 3 through the episode, the last episode of season 3, where she like flips and changes her appearance with her power, all the way to here. I can see that Natsumi's character is being developed. She actually, she actually gains some kind of respect for these people and wants to help them because they helped her. What?
This is important. If it wasn't for the last episode of season 3, would you feel differently?
I don't think so. Because for the last but like obviously if the character arc of Natsumi was not resolved, which means like when the Humpty Dumpty fell from the sky.
No, I'm talking about the
I know
Shido.
the Shido. Yeah. If that didn't happen, I would still be fond of it because I feel like that was resolved in season 3. Like I can see why Natsumi has a reason to actually feel obligated to the spirits, and she actually wants to help them because they helped her. Miku was never shown to have like any context, any idea that she should be grateful for what they've done for her.
I mostly
Even like if by like the selfishness standard, like
I mostly agree.
I know
with
she
you
likes
guys.
Shido, but like I feel like she'd put in the bare minimum effort. Or she would do more that she's only doing this for Shido.
I mostly agree with you guys. Maybe not as much. Like I don't think it's like Miko was like completely like. It's not that this doesn't make complete sense, but they could have done more to earn this moment. But this is not me trying to have like a gotcha moment. But I think we can agree that the last episode of season 3 definitely helped Natsumi's character the most for this moment. like the character
yeah.
for this moment.
Oh yeah. That's true. It's a little bit annoying how some of these characters just get more development and more time than others, and I feel like that's
I mean,
a missed
yes.
opportunity. But
Yes, but
on the other hand, I understand why Miku's character was not developed and why all of this sudden change was not addressed. And that's because Data Live, in its heart of hearts, people doing the show, people running all of this, the person writing this, they all know that it was creepy and bad,
yeah.
right?
And
Let's not dance around
I
it.
would say
They
that-
didn't address it because they knew that addressing it would be bad.
I think the biggest problem is that like the definitely is Miku and the Spirit Sisters, like the twins. I think they're really underutilized, and it's not for lack of trying, it's just really hard to put them in a story. Like
I guess.
I feel like when you're making Data Life, you need to plan ahead, which the author really didn't. Or like
Really didn't.
Yoshinon, for example, I
Author says so. Wait, the author says as much that he didn't plan
Yeah.
ahead.
and like I'm not trying to like say he's a bad writer for this. Like many writers just like get lucky on one project and then they
I will say this.
they work on it for
I will say this. He is a bad writer for this.
yeah, like no, what I mean, bad good writers is it's kind of hard. Like what I'm trying to say is that many people like just get lucky and then have to live with the consequences of their actions. You know what I mean? Like the author of Data Life, maybe he could have made like a better series if he like had more time or thought about it more before publishing, but he didn't. So I think
You're
really
giving a whole lot of credit. You're giving a whole lot of credit to a person who excessively obsesses over children's sexuality. Like,
I don't think I don't think I'm giving him credit. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that it's possible for a writer it's possible for a person to get better at their craft with more time. That's what I'm trying to say.
okay,
But, like,
sure,
but, like,
sure.
My point is that I think the real measure of a good writer is like how you can like fix your mistakes or like plan ahead, and the writer of Data Life has a hard time doing this with this story, regardless of like I'm not trying to say that they're bad. What I'm trying to say is that Data Life has this problem that many of his characters are not that utilized. Like especially Yoshinon and the Spirit Sisters and now Miku.
Well, okay, sure.
Also to some extent Kotori. Like I mean they use her more than the others, but it's weird. Like
I feel like I feel like the usage of Kotori is difficult because they use her as the leader of Ratatoskar, so all the screen time that she's getting is relegated to her role in the organization and that role in the story, and much less her relationship with Shido, which is the important part.
Yeah, and to that extent, I kind of wish like she didn't have like a relationship with Shido. Like I wish she was more like a brother and sister relationship, and just like she was the leader of Ratatoska. And it wasn't like a spirit relationship because it really like makes her it's weird. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Anyway, just to get back, we are very long today. This is getting a very very long episode.
Insert long man theme song.
Yes. So they do the competition. Some of the spirits pitched in to help with creating the manga, and some of the spirits went outside to get clothes because they are going to be bunny girls and eye candy for the people that are going to be coming there to buy this one-shot manga about Shido's adventure with spirits, which is like almost one-to-one retelling of everything that happened. Which I need to stress here that specifically Yoshinon is one of the bunny girls, because of course she is.
Oh wow!
You know, like
that's terrible.
she could be the one to like draw the manga and help them. You know, like a child would. It could be like a fun activity for a child that she is. But no, she's gotta be the bunny girl because fuck Data Live.
Yeah, like okay. I am coming across really bad in this episode, and I'm only going to make it worse. But she's not that much younger than everyone else. She just acts way younger than everyone else, which is still terrible.
We're talking about green hair, right?
Yeah, green.
I think
bunny.
she's actually the same as the rest of them.
No.
She's
No,
way younger.
You're lying to us. Like
You're
she's way
lying.
younger.
Okay, I'm checking
Oh,
this.
sorry. You were talking about Natsumi. No, we were talking about Yoshino.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Yoshino. Okay, sorry, I zoned out for a second.
Yeah, no. We were talking about the puppet girl. Yeah.
obviously, you know what's great? When I type her name into Google, the first thing that came up
It's her
is
age.
Yoshinon's age.
Yeah.
Obviously, immediately.
Yeah. I mean,
She is.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Wait! When you type this into Google, it shows you all the information about this character. It says Himekawa Yoshinon, birthday March 20th, age 13, between 13 and 14, which I question that physically, actual age 40.
Wait, what?
She's 40 years old.
What?
What?
I don't know what that means, but that's what Google says.
I think we just found out the spoilers for season.
She's her
season
actual age apparently is 40 years old. So remember we had the discussion
Wait,
about
did you say-
Yoshinon.
Did you say 4 years old or 40 years old?
40 years old.
40.
40 years old.
40.
So she became, yes, 40. She became a spirit when she was between 13 and 14 and stayed at that age for 30 years of her life. So remember when we had that discussion about like her family?
I mean, her family is dead.
They're dead. Like there is no Yoshino parents. They're dead.
I mean, to be fair, they're actually not dead. Like you can have like parents and still be
I
friends.
also-
But I mean, they're broken.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense because that would mean that she. For how long have been the space quakes going? It hasn't been 40 years.
I mean, the angels don't have to be aligned with the space quakes necessarily. And we also have time travel. So who knows?
Okay, but also that would definitely make her the first spirit, right? To be changed, right? First human to be changed into a spirit if she's that old.
I mean, you
And
just
we were told that she's not because we were told that the first spirit was the priestess, Nia. This makes no sense.
I mean, time travel exists. Anything can make sense. I mean, I'm honestly not like, unlike with Alex, which, like, this is different because normally when Alex spoils something, it's because he wants to win an argument. But for this, I don't really mind you spoiling it. And I think she's going, like, this is gonna happen, right? Like, we beat it's season 9, and we beat Westcott Prescott. And Joshian is going to reveal that she's actually an older woman, so she is not going to be attracted to her, and then they have to fight.
Sorry, I zoned out. I was reading about Yoshino because this is insane what I'm reading. I don't know. Do we care about spoilers? Do you want me to read what is written here?
I mean,
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to put a spoiler section. I mean, do you care, Alex? I mean, you must care, or do you know?
I don't know. This is news to me too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tell us.
Okay. This is the spoiler section. So I'm going to read you the background history of Yoshino. So 26 years ago, before regaining her memories, Yoshinon was a sickly child raised by a single widowed mother. So we know that one parent, single widowed mother. Due to her illness, Yoshinon spent most of her life in the hospital. For Yoshinon, the narrow hospital room and window was the entire world that she had known. One day, her mother Nagisa presented her a rabbit puppet called Yoshinon, who would act as a symbol of her mother always looking out for her when she was busy with work.
Wait,
Yoshinon,
is she already a spirit by this point or no?
let me keep reading, we will find out. Yoshinon then planned to make a junior puppet representing herself to give to her mother. However, Nagisa would later die in a work-related accident. Which, I don't know what her work is, but...
She fell down the stairs. Anyway.
Sure. As she was crying over her mother no longer visiting her, Yoshinon's illness grew worse to the point where she had difficulty even breathing. Mio arrived and gave her a Sephira crystal, so that's when she was changed into a spirit, with a subsequent transformation into a spirit, curing Yoshinon of her illness. Soon afterwards, she then disappeared from the hospital and eventually forgot about her past as a human.
I mean, don't you ever forget that you're
This
a
is
human?
insane. This is insane. All of what I've read to you is insane.
I mean, sometimes I forget I'm human because I'm so great, so I don't think it's that unrealistic.
Like most spirits, Yoshinon often appeared in the world through space quakes, though she also sometimes appeared silently without causing a space quake. When she appeared in the world, her spirit powers would, whether she wanted to or not, cause it to rain. Because of this and the space quakes which she caused, Yoshinon had very little to no contact with others. Instead, she constantly had to run away from the AST, who were always trying to kill her. However, despite the AST attempting to kill her, Yoshinon never fought back because she did not want to hurt others. All of this caused Yoshinon to become withdrawn and very lonely. In her loneliness, Yoshinon unconsciously used the puppet on her left hand and ventriloquism to create another personality to keep her company named Yoshinon. Yoshinon embodied the person she wanted to be, strong and unafraid to speak her mind. Eventually, Yoshinon stopped talking for herself and instead let Yoshinon speak for her. This is her entire backstory, and this is absolutely insane. I just want to point out that this implies that space quakes have been going on for more than 26 years.
Wait, so are you telling me that Yoshinon is Piccolo? Because she's Yoshi.
But you're trying to make a joke, but what I'm reading is crazy.
Yeah, anyway, I don't really care that much.
Okay.
Anyway,
I
I
do.
feel like I should have more to say, but I did wake up super early.
yeah.
Which it definitely is just a lie because this is all one long recording.
Shido and the Spirit Girls are about to lose, so Miko calls her fans and reveals that the pop star is here. So she makes them buy her manga, and all the side characters start buying the manga from the Spirit Girls, and eventually I think it was was it a tie or did they lose or what happened?
It was a tie. It's eventually a tie. It's important that this is when Miku calls her fans. This is the one time that the ostensible fact that she hates men is actually addressed, because she doesn't want to shake hands with them, which is insane because she's a pop star idol. Of course, she would have had to do that in the past, and also she doesn't hate men. Whatever.
Well, yeah, but she can still hate it.
Sure, of course, yes, because
okay, guys, Eminem still thinks she's not a lesbian.
She's not.
She's still not
She's not.
bisexual. At the very least.
She's not even bisexual. She just hates men.
I mean,
that's all there is to it.
I mean, you can be bisexual and hate men too, you know.
But she's not.
She is. Okay, whatever.
The only.
We've done a song and
whatever.
dance before. If you want to hear us do this, just rewind to a previous episode.
Yeah.
Watch episodes 1, 2 through 4.
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember which episodes. So just rewatch all of them, and like them. You can also
Give us more.
you can actually just have them running in the background. You can do something else and just run them in the background.
Yeah, you don't even have to listen to them. Just have them running. Yeah.
Also, you can comment just comment every second if you can find it. And then when you find it, just type in "I found it," and then so other people can try and find it too. Go to other videos and say, "I found the part where they argue about Miku." So and I won.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry, I'm making the joke unfunny by saying it so much. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that let's go fast mode. And
right. So the
thanks to Miku and everyone's efforts, they tie, and the manga artist says, "Okay, fine. I guess I will try it one more time to the date." And she also reads the one shot, and she says it's really bad and really amateurish. However, she then realizes that the story is about the real Shido and everything. So she starts to fall in love with Shido, and she's about to fall in love when suddenly,
right. They meet all together, and suddenly Westcott Prescott makes his appearance in the story finally in a roundabout way. First off, Nia suddenly is struck by pain, and then immediately turns into inverted Nia, who has a much better design than her priestess form. She actually looks really cool.
yeah,
And immediately starts attacking the spirits and Shido. We cut to Westcott Prescott in a car, and a new character is introduced in addition to Alan. So now he has two strike witches. And Westcott Prescott reveals that he actually used an implanted device inside Nia to suppress the memory of her 10-year torture. But now that she is on the cusp of regaining all of her faith in humanity, just like you did to me, guys, Westcott Prescott disables the memory suppressing, and all of the memories of her absolute torment come flooding back into Nia, which makes her lose faith in humanity completely and become an inverted spirit, which is a problem for everybody else. They start fighting.
Prescott.
Yeah. But Westcott Prescott what?
No, but it's a problem for everybody, but Westcott.
Except Westcott Prescott, yes, because as we know, Westcott Prescott, for some reason, it's gonna be explained now. For some reason, if you remember, the audience, Westcott Prescott is obsessed with the idea of inverting spirits, and he wants to invert them. He tried to do that with Toka, and the only reason that failed was because Toka was just too powerful for Ellen. But now he has another girl.
And Ellen was also PC. Like, let's cut ourselves, like, like.
Sure. In any case, they start fighting. Nia reveals that her inverted spirit angel is Beelzebub. For some reason, I don't really understand why that ties into it.
I mean, it's a much better name at the very least.
It's better than Satanas, I guess, but sure, whatever. Her inverted spirit is Beelzebub. Apparently all the spirits have like angels, right? So like they have Metatron, they have all the other angels, and when they
let's skip all this. Look, she's really overpowered, whatever. But Ellen manages to strike her down, and
the new character Origami reveals, I don't remember her name. Origami reveals that she knows this character, but for now, the only thing we know about her is that she's working with Prescott and that she is known to Origami. She kills she kills, quote unquote. She stabs Nia and acquires the dark crystal inside her, which presumably is the dark crystal of an inverted spirit. The same way spirits have like the good crystals, she has the bad crystal, and Westcott Prescott obtains it and promptly consumes it.
Yeah.
Gaining Nia's power. So now we finally reveal the actual plan of Westcott Prescott, which is just to gain power of the spirits, which is absolutely stupid.
It only took us 4 seasons to learn the motivation.
Maybe goal.
Yeah,
to learn the actual, which is okay. And now we have to go on a little bit tangent here, and we have to talk about this because this is very important to me specifically. Because say what you will about Motonaga and about his like weirdness and the things that he did with Data Live, but Motonaga at least played it straight, and he wasn't too ashamed of the weirdness of Data Live and tried to bring it forward. This new director and this season is trying very, very hard to put all the Data Live weirdness beneath the layer of genericness. But At the same time, it does this with Westcott Prescott. If you remember, in the previous seasons, we had the inkling that Westcott Prescott has some kind of a master plan for humanity. That he may be evil, he may be an evil bastard, he may be Jeff Bezos, he may be entrepreneur born in 1984.
But let's
Sure,
be fair,
but-
Jeff Bezos didn't prove that magic is real. I feel like that's slightly an accomplishment.
Right, but we had an inkling that his plan was like to pit humans against inverted spirits at their most powerful and make them win so that humanity can achieve its like final stage as this multi-dimensional species. If they can beat the spirits, they can prove that humanity is the real shit. That was ostensibly his goal, and now all of it is just thrown away because apparently his goal is to just consume the power of spirits and just become the demon king or whatever.
I think you have both. Like, you know, like Lex Luthor, like he wants to beat Superman, but he also wants to be Superman, you know?
But that's okay. And this is also what we in this context we also have to talk about this because in some respects this is good for the story. In some respects this is really bad for the story because an antagonist is always supposed to be the sort of a dark mirror reflection of the protagonist, right? They're supposed to stand against them, and they're supposed to be, you know, in the narrative sense, they're supposed to be the inverse of them. So previously, the idea was a little bit more philosophical in that Shido stands for this like cooperation with spirits, love with spirits, like making relationship with spirits, and Westcott Prescott stood for domination. This like. This quasi-fascist idea that like we can't coexist, we can't live together. God forbid we can fall in love with each other. No, we have to destroy the spirits. We have to show that humanity is the best. That's what we're gonna do. And that philosophically was an interesting exchange. There was a place for like actual conversation there, in the sense that obviously Westcott's idea is wrong, but it like. He had to have been defeated philosophically on these grounds. Like, Shido had to prove that he's right. And now, Westcott Prescott is just a straight antagonist that wants to metaphysically rape other spirits, who specifically are already rich.
That's a little, like...
That's what's clearly implied. That's what's clearly implied.
Look, I feel like the R word is very strong, and I don't feel like we have, like... I agree that is an interpretation that's logical, but you know, you can just say kill or destroy, and it's not really that different.
If I say sexually exploit, it's not gonna be better.
No,
because that's what he's trying to do.
No,
but that's what he's trying to do.
It's not sexual exploitation. It's more like, I mean,
it absolutely is.
Okay. I agree that is a good interpretation. I would just say he wants to extract the extract the resources from the spirits. Like, it really doesn't matter. It's just an analogy anyway. But I don't feel like that is like I agree with you on the philosophical stuff. I agree with you. I don't feel like this changes everything. I do feel like Westcott Prescott, like, I feel like this power specifically might be a little bit too strong because, like, the interesting part about Westcott Prescott is that he's weak. Like, he's even weaker than Shido.
Right. That was the interesting part. That was the interesting part about Westcott Prescott. That like he has to use that was the idea that he's the dark mirror Shido. That Shido tries very hard to do things for other spirits, even though he's weak. While Westcott Prescott is specifically using the people around him to do his bidding.
Yeah, and Shido also has Shido has something similar to it, but I do like that I personally like the aspect of absorbing a spirit's power, but I feel like this specific power is too strong. I feel like they should have made Nia's power weaker. So,
although let's remember that inverted spirits don't have exactly the same powers as spirits. So
yeah, but even then, it's still
not clear, it's not clear what Beelzebub actually does. All we know that it can create like shadow monsters that attack
and teleport people. I still like Westcott Prescott now. Like I wish he had gotten a more utility based power than just a straight up power, because this is too powerful. I think, you know.
Yeah, just Westcott Prescott just jumped as a threat to massive level.
Yeah, because okay, no, it's not that he dropped as a threat. It's just like what I'm trying to say is that before the Westcott Prescott not doing anything kind of makes sense because what is he gonna do, right? Like
Yeah,
sure he has wizards, right? But like they're not really going to go against like all the spirits. But because he
had to be opportunistic.
Yeah, he had to be opportunistic. Now because he has this power, it really makes him look bad that he's not just winning immediately, you know? Like it's one thing for Thanos to beat the Hulk when he doesn't have all the Infinity Stones, but like to win against, but like if he, because you don't expect it, right? Like it's impressive then. But when Thanos, like with all the Infinity Stones, loses, I don't know, like against a Squirrel Girl or something, right? That's really not like that's really embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's Spider-Man dunking on Thanos, right? It's like it's unbelievable. I mean, not after you've seen Avengers, right? Like,
yeah,
fuck is Peter Parker gonna do against Thanos?
Thanos is not the best example. I think Doctor Doom, for example, yeah, like that's a better example because if you make a character too powerful and they're not instantly winning, then it's like very unimpressive.
You could venture a hypothesis where like Westcott Prescott is just used to being weak, so he doesn't fully comprehend this part, and he's also used to making very long-term plans and being this like Machiavellian schemer, right? So like he's not the kind of guy to use this power in such an outwardly manner. But the problem is his motivation comes down to wanting to use that power in that specific way. He wants to become the king. He wants to take the inverted crystals from all the spirits that Shido has already seduced, wooed into relationships. He wants to take and he makes the creepy anime face where he like turns his face towards Shido in like a horizontal way, classic, unhinged villain face from anime. So like he wants to use this power in an overt, flashy way. So this rationale makes no sense. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, like you made Westcott Prescott too smart and have a too useful a power too early. Like it should have been like a weak power that he absorbed, and then everything will have been easier. Or maybe there's like a cost, like. I think a good way to nerf him will be like after the fight we see Westcott Prescott like after he teleports we see him like sweating and stuff or like maybe like passing out, and it's like it really takes a toll to use the spirit powers, and that would be a good way to nerf him. And like why doesn't he just like solve all the problems immediately, you know?
Yeah. Just giving him Nia's power is just not a good idea. Just Westcott Prescott is now.
Yeah, because like now we have that problem where with Nia, you can excuse her not killing Westcott Prescott immediately because she's just that kind of person, you know. Like she doesn't want to kill anyone.
But why does Westcott Prescott just instantly win all the time once he has the book?
Yeah.
Right. Westcott Prescott doesn't have an excuse of being a good person.
Yeah.
He explicitly does not have that excuse.
He's also canonically smart. Again, he discovered magic.
Yeah, and he planned all of this meticulously he specifically tortured Nia for 10 years, knowing that she's gonna break free at some point, implanted this device to suppress her memory, specifically so she could regain her faith in humanity over time, and so he could then press the button to invert her. Like all of this was meticulously planned. And
wait, he started. Maybe I just picked up on something.
Yeah.
He tortured her for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was his original plan? Because he acts like his plan is for Shido to restore faith in humanity. But Shido showed up like a year ago. She wasn't around 9 years ago when he started this.
Yes, but remember,
he's opportunistic. Like I can forgive that. Like
I actually think this is gonna be explained because I think Shido was destined to become this spirit seducer. Like this is not something that just sort of happened. This was planned as well because we know that there was a person that Westcott Prescott used to work with, this like shadowy figure friend that is responsible for Ratatoskar. So I think all of this was planned in advance.
We met him last season.
We didn't meet him.
I mean,
did we?
we saw his silhouette. I think whatever. It doesn't really matter.
No, it shows up in like one scene. It just like
but
hi, it leaves.
it's too short.
remember.
It's too short, that scene. Anyway, but the oh yeah, but yeah, the spirits have a fight, and eventually Westcott Prescott like, okay, I'm going to leave, and he uses like god powers to teleport. Like okay, like
Yes.
that. Okay, just to be clear, like Westcott Prescott like can do anything now. Like
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, I truly feel like if it was just like information, right? Like Nia only has
Just
information.
if he could just learn everything, that would be an interesting villain, because that would be like Ozymandias, right? Like, how do you be the villain who knows exactly what you're doing every single moment of your life? That's a very difficult villain to beat. Okay,
Yeah,
but
and
not
still
not
makes,
omnipotent.
yeah, and it still makes Westcott Prescott interesting and all the other stuff, and like he still has like the inverted powers. Like I feel like that would happen better, but we just not live in that world, whatever. But okay, just to finish the recap, Nia is actually happy that she lost her powers, and basically she's now happy, and she reconnects with her friends because Shiro helped her regain her faith in humanity, and now she's no longer inverted.
We didn't see that yet. I mean, the last thing we see in that episode that we've seen is that Nia is alive. She's not okay, obviously.
Yeah, she's in a
recovering.
wheelchair, I think.
Yes. I don't remember that. I don't remember her being.
She was
the
in a
last
wheelchair.
thing. Literally, the last thing I remember is Shido like grabbing her and like being like, "Oh, she's alive." Okay.
No, she's in a wheelchair now.
She's in a wheelchair, and she's friends with the glasses girl.
Which
Now she doesn't have that fear of reading her mind because she lost her powers.
let's just stop here for a second and remember that this is Legend of Korra season 3 ending. Like the way they tortured this girl is just awful.
I agree,
Like-
yeah.
It's just horrifying, and it's Data Life that like they did it for a fetish, and remember that they did it for a joke. They did they tortured, they created a torture story, a story about a woman being tortured for 10 years straight to justify the fact that she doesn't like 3D people and she's a shutter.
Look.
Do you understand here? Like what we're talking about? This is
God,
crazy.
you're right.
No, I disagree. Like Data Life has a lot of like maybe in the light novels is different, but specifically in the anime, I really don't feel like the torture was done for the fetish. I think it was just like part of the story. You know?
Mind you that this is the person who created a time travel story to fix origami. Nobody does overkill like the author of Data Life. This is just pure overkill.
I just my problem is that we didn't really see her torture. Like if it was really to like that's a fetish thing, we would have seen more of her torture. Like
I agree, Titania.
yeah. Like maybe in the future it will be, but for now I don't feel like it's for the fetish. I feel it was just like a
Yeah, I don't
a
feel it's
plot
for the
point.
fetish either. I think you're just being ungenerous.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it will change later. Or maybe in the light novels it was longer. You know, or like
I don't know. I feel like this season is way more faithful to the light novels than previous seasons.
okay,
honestly.
so you know how people like God girls, right? Maybe on the
What
level
else?
that
Goth girls, okay.
yeah, maybe on the level that she is the person that was tortured, like that's the fetish, like not the torture itself, but the person who was tortured.
What the idea of a tortured girl?
Yeah, like
Oh.
maybe I can agree with that, but
Either way, it's creepy and weird.
yeah,
I don't feel comfortable after watching, like, especially given the implications of Westcott's plan, because like remember, you know, I'm not gonna use the R word obviously, but his plan, it's a massive invasion on people's privacy and just absolute disregard for any amount of consent, and it's clear
I still feel like it falls in line with his previous motivations, like.
Of course,
And
in
makes
some
it more
respects
clear.
it does, I need to stress that the story took a very, very dark turn because it was previously about the battle between cooperation and antagonism and like domination, and now it's a battle between consent and lack of consent.
I don't.
You're straight out.
Yes.
What makes Shido a good guy here, what makes Shido a good guy protagonist here is that he is in consensual relationships with the spirits. They want to be together, they want to go on dates, they want to hang out, they want to be together. What makes Westcott a bad guy is that he does not care about that at all. He just wants to take the gems. Which
Okay,
there you go.
I think the best way to end the episode is like, okay, so that is the thing you dislike the most. What is the thing you like the most about the new season? Like Nia's character, like how relatable she is?
I personally really like Nia as a character. I feel like much in the same way as with Origami, they overshot massively. Like they didn't need all of this for Nia, but what we saw of her before the reveal of the heinous torture, she was a relatable character, and I don't think that that's gonna happen. But I hope that she stays as a semi-relevant character, and we're gonna get more of her. Otherwise, the animation is obviously better.
Let me just
That's about
say,
it.
we can talk about general thoughts later. This is just like the least liked and the most liked. So yeah, and you like Nia's character. I also agree that Nia's character is very good because she really is like one of the spirits with the most personality. Like, I feel like,
she seems like a person that could function outside the story if you stop paying attention to her.
Yeah, like the only people I like more are Toka, and because we had more time with her. If it wasn't for the origami arc, that last part, origami obviously better, and Kurumi.
But Kurumi specifically because she has a mystery, less so because she does feel like a character that would function in her own story, which we know of because there are stories with her as a main character. But the point is that Kurumi has a very powerful and very interesting mystery around her.
Yeah. Also, I still prefer Natsumi over her also, but like aside from that, she's better than all the other characters. I mean, I guess Kotori also counts, but not.
We're gonna listen.
I like her just as much as Kotori, but without all the baggage of like the bad parts of Kotori. Does that make sense?
We're gonna revisit the spirit tier list at the end of the season, so we're gonna get back to
for sure. Alex,
And we're gonna have all 6 origamis.
We're gonna have all 6 origamis. Yes.
Alex, how do you feel about Nia's character?
She's fine. I feel like kind of feels like cheap origami. She has enough character traits to separate her.
I thought HK47 was cheap origami.
Yeah,
fair enough. I don't know. I feel like they're starting over now. She's fine, I guess. Is my best review of her.
Yeah, I mean, do you think she's better than most of the other spirits, or no?
Yeah, like in retrospect.
Now, what did you dislike the most about the new season?
Good question. Yeah. What did you dislike the most about this new data life that we have here?
I can't say for spoilers because I finished it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's something even worse coming. Okay.
What do you like the most then? If you can say now.
The improved art.
I agree.
It's so I guess in the end it does take a village, but some things may change, but some things stay the same. As much as we may like the new animation, none of it is gonna mask that the fact that beneath all of it, it's still data life, and it's exactly what you'd expect.
I think on retrospect, the aspect I like the most is like all the spirits like helping now. Like, I feel like all the spirits are more like they're actually getting like character development, which I really like at least some of them.
And they definitely feel more involved in the process. They're definitely contributing more than they did previously. Usually when Shida would go on a date with a new spirit, previously the other spirits would just not be a part of it. They would be doing their own stuff. That they'd be not involved, and it would just be Shido Kotori commanding him from the Ratatoskar and the new spirit. Now they're actually involved. They factor into the dates even, which is big. Like, we never had the harem talk, but they all sort of accepted the status quo.
Yeah, and I also really like Nia, and like, like everything we said I really like. I like. But the thing I dislike the most is like just like the plot cohesion, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like there's a really good story here if you just like made a few small changes. You know what I mean? Like, if you just change change Nia's power to be less obviously powerful and more like
Impressive to the story.
Yeah, it will,
Just take away its power to write the future. It's fine.
Yeah, just think about teleport and all the stuff, and then it will make Westcott Prescott such a more intimidating and powerful character because, like,
you're not always asking the question, why isn't he just using the win button?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that's the part I dislike the most. But yeah.
It's important to know that people gravitate towards the struggle of the protagonist, but the struggle of a villain is also interesting, and it's an often neglected part. You can't just make the villain all powerful. It's just
well, if you, I mean, you can, but when you do that, you have to like. It essentially gives the main protagonist plot armor because it doesn't make sense for them to continue being alive if you make the villain too strong. You know what I mean?
Right. This is why in the Bible that we've mentioned, like there's a story about a guy wrestling God, and he manages to hold God down towards the sunset, all the way until sunset. And it's later implied that, of course, this was part of God's plan because God is omnipotent. He can't lose a wrestling duel. So now you've created a villain that is so powerful. Sorry?
Not with that attitude.
Yeah,
none with that.
I feel like that can be thought, but you don't have to go
Same, but the point is, you've created a villain so powerful that now you have to bend over backwards justifying how the protagonist is even able to accomplish anything, which that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Like okay. If in the next episode Westcott Prescott appears and he kills all the spirits and also Shido and or he does something similar, like at the very least, like unless Westcott Prescott is like basically the main plot for until he loses his powers or like they nerf him somehow it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I can already assure you that that's not going to be the case. Westcott Prescott is going to disappear on the plot for the next 6 episodes, and it's going to reappear in the finale when Origami finally remembers that she was supposed to tell everybody about this new girl.
Yeah,
that's exactly what's going to happen.
That is my biggest fear. But to end on a positive note, I am also excited to see what happens because despite the problems, I like that the plot is moving finally. I feel like we can get on some good dates, some good character development, some good emotions. And yeah, it doesn't really make that much sense, but at least it's interesting, you know? It's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, they might not make the most sense, but they're not boring. They're interesting.
Yeah, the twist may be incredibly stupid, but it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be at least entertaining to watch the train wreck. Yeah, I can agree with that.
M. Night Shyamalan has made some good movies too, so you know.
He's made a single good movie, and that's Sixth Sense. The one with Bruce Willis, where everybody's dead, is the only good movie he's made. Everything else sucks. Signs were okay.
I also like the other Bruce Willis one with Unbreakable.
Oh, Unbreakable. Yeah, okay, Unbreakable was also good. The one that they tried to spin this into a cinematic universe was absolute shit.
Yeah,
but
but like
the
the first one
Unbreakable
was
was
good.
cool.
The first one was good.
Yeah, Unbreakable was good. I like the fact that it was like never actually made clear to the very end if he actually has superpowers or not. It was just something that was like it's up in the air. He was definitely a superhero in a classical sense, but whether he had powers or not is completely up
Yeah,
in
so
the air.
Unbreakable 8.5 out of 10. And that's our Unbreakable review. See you guys.
Unbreakable review, and we'll see you in the next video where we talk about the next M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah. See you guys next time. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you.
See you all. Good night, internet.
Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.